Viva Las Vegas. Welcome to Place Your Bet, everybody. This is Tommy T with my buddy Sal the Bookmaker. Today's show is brought to you by Legal Shield, providing legal protection and peace of mind for less than $1 a day. Legal Shield will help with traffic tickets, texting and driving, DUIs, court appearances, estate planning, and even contracts given to you that you just don't understand. Plus a whole lot more. Call Legal Shield right now at 213-245-1305. That's 213-245-1305. Again, 213-245-1305. Or visit them online at nocourt.us.
Awesome. And a big welcome to everybody watching on Facebook Live and all of our listeners on KSHP 1400, home of your Arizona Diamondbacks and iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio, baby. K-Ship. K-Ship could be a tongue twister sometimes,
Ship
right?
or shop?
K-Shop. Oh, they like to shop, I like to ship.
All right.
K-Shop.
Hey, don't give me your lip. Just keep on going.
I was thinking on the way over here today, I was thinking of Lewis Lips. You brought up Lewis Lips yesterday. Lewis Lips, 1982. Okay, so listen, but I want to jump to baseball real quickly because your White Sox are obviously still in the news because they're reportedly the only one that's offered an 8-year contract to Manny Machado.
They're the only ones stupid enough to offer Manny Machado a contract.
I was thinking this guy is a buffoon, an 8-year contract to this guy. I heard it's in the neighborhood of $250 million, which is probably the going rate for a 26-year-old.
It's ridiculous to imagine.
Superstar.
Well, look, the fact is what they're doing is if they do sign him, they're going to be creating a clique in the clubhouse because you got the brother-in-law, you've got the buddy John Jay in there, and then you've got Manny, the threesome that have been together since they were kids, whatever.
Yonder Alonso,
right.
And then they signed John Jay.
Yeah.
They all trained.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, but I was just giving names.
Right. Well, I don't care about the names, but I never do. But the fact is, all they're going to do is they're going to create a clique in the clubhouse. It's the old Sox and the new Sox, and I don't like that. I think that's a really bad move from a continuity standpoint in the clubhouse. It creates a chemical problem.
Who's the young guy who we haven't seen yet? One of their phenoms in AAA. What's his name? You know his name. Because I don't know.
Eloy Jimenez.
That's it. Eloy. Yeah. Eloy Jimenez. And then they also have Yohan Moncada.
Yeah, Moncada played all last year.
Right. They got him from the Red Sox in the Chris Sale trade.
Right.
So they got a couple of young Latin Americans, guys that probably really look up to Machado. And you want someone there that's going to set the tone for these young guys, right? You don't want someone that's running out half the ground balls and not running out the other half.
Well, see, the problem is if you bring a guy like Machado to the table, all he does is set a bad example because that's what he's done.
Yeah.
And everybody knows him for that. And why would you want that element on your team?
Yeah, well, an 8-year contract. So my guess is Machado plays hard most of the time. I haven't had the luxury of watching him play on a year-round basis with the Orioles. I know my father talks very highly of him. He says that by the second inning, the guy's uniform is completely dirty because he's hustling all over the place. So my father was shocked to hear him say that he's not Johnny Hustle in the playoffs this year.
Right.
But so I know Machado, he hustles some of the time, but over the course of 162 games, over the course of 8 seasons, there's going to be lulls in his hustle.
But there's lulls in everybody's, though. You're talking a long season. Dog days of summer come around. People get lazy, especially in Southern California. If you've ever played ball, I'm using that for an example. That was the last place that I played ball. And I'll tell you, man, when it gets July, August, man, you get tired. Your legs get heavy. It doesn't matter what kind of shape you're in. Dog days of summer come around, buddy. Let me tell you, it is hard to get motivated every day.
The dog days of August. I think the hardest part about playing in Los Angeles isn't exactly August because that's not the hottest month. September's the hottest month.
But the smog is heavy.
Yeah,
right.
Although they've improved that in the last 20 years, right?
No, they
haven't.
Bad. No, they haven't.
They've improved it immensely.
Listen, between
immensely
L.A. Hey, that's enough out of you. Between L.A., Phoenix, and Denver, they lead the world. Better yet, they lead the U.S. in smog because the world leader in smog is India.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. That's why I've been trying to move to India for the last 3 years.
Right.
Missed the smog. I missed the smog ever since I left L.A.
Well, the air is so thick you could chew it there.
Cut it with a butter knife.
That's the one. Or just like the bite sound we have. Right? Come on, man. You're a little bit late on this. You're supposed to go to the bite sound.
Oh, well, yeah, you're right. I'm supposed to go to the bite sound. What the heck is going on here?
There it is. Let's go. Tune in tomorrow. There's the bite sound. Tune in tomorrow for the bite sound. Moving on.
Okay, moving on.
Jeez.
So the Golden State Warriors scored 51 points in the first quarter. They set an NBA record. right?
Well, when you have no defense in league, who gives a damn?
Yeah, whoop-de-damn-do.
Who cares?
I got to tell you right now, the
149 in this game,
NBA,
150 in this
hard
game.
with their records.
You know,
too much.
I'm getting to the point where you can flush the league down the toilet. I'm sick of it.
I got to tell you, since I've been doing this thing, you got me liking the NBA less and less. I don't know if it's you. It's just the NBA is not in a good place.
No, the
right
NBA is a watered-down product. We talked about this. Adam Silver, I'm sorry. Adam Silver may be a good guy, but I don't think Adam Silver is doing the league any favors. Okay, well, we want scoring, we want no defense. We're going to do this one and done thing. And guess what, Adam Silver, I'm sorry, buddy, you're a fellow Duke guy like me, but I think you're messing up the NBA.
Okay, fair enough. Tell me some of his missteps specifically.
I just
you mentioned
did.
Scoring.
I just did.
So what other missteps has he made?
I just did, one and done.
That's not Adam Silver's play.
It doesn't. No, but what can Adam Silver do about it?
Well, he's working diligently on getting that.
Diligently?
Yeah, he's getting that figured out. He's trying to get.
How is he getting it figured out?
Okay, here's the thing. The only improvement they can make on one and done is to let them come in when they're 17. How does that help the league?
No, they come in when they're 18. They don't have to be a 19-year-old to play the game.
Well, 18,
Adam Silver, with a stroke of a pen, can fix this problem. But he chooses not to, as you pointed out earlier a couple of months ago, because it was about money for the colleges, money here, money there, money for everybody.
Everyone's suffering with one and done. Everyone is suffering.
Okay, but
even
they can
the
fix
NBA is suffering.
So Adam Silver is not doing the NBA any favors.
Oh, I know what he's been trying to do. I know he's been trying to set up the G League, which is really the development league.
Right.
They call it the G League because Gatorade sponsors it now.
Of course.
But he's been trying to set up the G League with legitimate payouts. So these 18-year-old kids graduating from high school can make $250,000 a year. That's what he's trying to do, so they don't go to college. So they skip the farce of college and just come in.
Well, that would be the farce of college only refers to basketball players that want to play professional ball, because college itself is not a farce.
Well, but even the good guys, even the guys that have no intentions of making it a farce. Zion Williamson, for all intents and purposes, seems like an okay guy. He's at Duke. He had to have good enough grades to get into Duke. All those Dukies, they're not making any concessions to allow them in for that 1 year that they're there.
Hell no.
They have to have good grades. They have to have good SAT scores, ACT scores. You know, so he's leaving. I mean, even to no fault of Zion Williamson's, he's simply following the rules. So even the good players that go to college for 1 year are making it a farce.
Okay, so back to the original statement. Adam Silver, what are you doing to help the NBA? Right now, he's not doing crap. He's not. Adam Silver, just quit your job right now. No. Get somebody else in there.
I wouldn't go that far because he's done some really good stuff.
What has he done? That's really good stuff.
He did was he got Donald Sterling out immediately. Immediately when he said that stuff about Magic Johnson and all that racial stuff, he didn't even play around. He somehow, I don't know how he made Donald Sterling sell his team. They must have pulled some rule out of the page 850 in the contracts that these owners signed, but somehow he got rid of him immediately.
But what has he done for the league? Well, I'm not talking for one team.
That helped the league because all of the players immediately saw the support that Adam Silver gave them.
What did it do for the league, for the fans? Nothing.
Well, he got the support of the players.
Big effing deal. So, what has he done for the fans? What has he done for the game? The quality of the game sucks.
Well, since then, he can go to the players. Now that he has their support, he can go to the players with these new rule changes, which he's trying to do. He's trying to fix the one and done. That's the latest thing that's
okay, all right, but wait. What has he done for the fans and for the NBA itself? He hasn't done crap for them. Adam Silver, you're fired!
No, Adam Silver's not fired.
Give him a boo.
No.
You guys are terrible.
I'm not booing Adam
He's
Silver.
terrible.
I'm sorry.
He's terrible. Adam, you're terrible. I don't care if you're a fellow Dookie. You're terrible. Get rid of him. You're out of here. He doesn't get a gong of approval.
He gets a gong and he gets an applause. I love Adam Silver.
Adam Silver gets a punch in the head.
No, you're crazy. What has he done that's bad for the
No,
league?
I'm asking you, what has he done good for the league?
I'm asking you, what has he done bad for the league?
What has he done for the league?
You're the one that's got a bone to pick with him.
All he has done is incite no defense. There's no defense in the league whatsoever.
He didn't do that. He didn't incite no defense.
It's like football. The NFL right now is almost like flag football. You can't hit anybody.
So you can't tell me what
he wants. More offense, more offense, more offense, more. There's no defense. They're called. Listen, anything that even resembles a foul is called, and that is by instruction of Adam Silver.
He changed that ridiculous and one rule where if you foul someone at half court and he takes 3 steps and shoots, they call it.
But they only take 4 to 5 steps. What's the difference?
He's changed that. He's trying to implement the field travel.
Catch. Land, step, and that's it. I mean, it's a half court right there. There's 4 steps. I mean, look, Adam Silver's not doing this league any favors. Adam, you're fired.
I don't know what's wrong with the NBA.
The NBA is a very poor product right now.
Yeah, I don't see. It's not compelling. I'm not interested in it.
It doesn't make me want to watch it. It doesn't make me say I've got to see this game.
I'm not watching games either. It's really weird. This year I've been all about football. I'm not watching games. I mean, I can't watch college basketball because that's just an eyesore to watch. They're just awful players. I can't watch them. The NBA are very good players.
And remember, that eyesore is just an extension in the NBA.
No, most of the players in college don't make it in the NBA.
But the point is,
95% of the college players aren't good enough to play in the NBA.
But remember, those guys...
It's no good to watch.
But Tommy, those guys are the extension as they get into the NBA. Oh, don't shake your head, because those are the same kids.
Hear what I said. 95% of those guys aren't good enough to play
even
in the
the
NBA.
Even the 5% that are. Those are the 5% that are the extension into the NBA that still have a crappy product. It doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, because they don't go to college long enough.
Right. Their on the court IQ is awful. They haven't developed yet.
No, that's not true. Lonzo Ball's on the court IQ is excellent. His skill level.
Lonzo Ball.
Because he's
aren't there better examples?
You said
he's an awful player.
You said their on the court IQ is awful. You're wrong.
You're giving me one.
He's got a high. But let me finish.
Give me a minimum sample of 9.
His on the court IQ is very high. His skill level is very low because he wasn't trained in college. He didn't play long enough in college. He's got a terrible skill level. Here's the thing. He's got no pull-up jumper. He's got no inside game. He's got no back-to-the-basket game.
Okay, hold that thought.
No, I'm not going to hold that thought. Let me finish. And he's got a poor mechanics. So he's never worked with a coach that he respects in college. So his IQ is excellent. His skill level is terrible. And that's what I'm seeing. These guys coming in like Brandon Ingram. His skill level is terrible. His IQ level is high. He's a smart guy. He knows how to play the game. He just can't.
All right, that's 2 guys. I need 7 more.
Okay, the guy the new guy that Dennis Smith that the Mavericks drafted in the top 10 last year, who got a tremendous start. A tremendous start. He's an incredible athlete from North Carolina State. He played 1 year at North Carolina State. The Mavericks have seen him now for 1 year, and they're trying to trade him. They picked him number 9. They're trying to trade. You know why they're trying to trade him? Because they drafted Luka Doncic.
Who was Europe. A pro. He was the best player in the draft.
They watched Luka Doncic. Ready. They watched Luka for, what is it now, 2 or 3 months?
Yep.
And they said, this is the kind of guy we want. They don't want Smith. They're going to dump Smith.
Right, and you know why? Because Doncic was a pro coming in.
That's what I'm saying.
Right, he was the guy
you're saying what
ready.
I'm saying.
Right, we're saying the same thing.
His skill level,
he was ready for the NBA.
His skill level was high.
Yes.
Dennis Smith has a bad skill level.
Right.
Another guy that knows how to play the game. He can't shoot. He doesn't know how to guard anybody. He didn't play in college.
They didn't have the 4 years to develop in the college game.
Problem.
This is the problem with the NBA.
And it isn't Adam Silver, because this is set up long ago. There's a problem with guys coming too quickly.
But he can fix the problem.
No, I don't think he can, because these guys are making so much money with their sneaker contracts that they can't go to college. One of the things
and that's fine.
One of the things with the NBA is that these young kids, they have so much money at their fingertips so early that they're not developing their games. They're millionaires by the time they're 18, 19 years old. They don't get better. That's the problem with the NBA. Adam's got his hands full.
But remember, with the stroke of a pen, Adam can say, we don't want this one and done rule anymore. Now you're 18, you're old enough to fight for your country, old enough to vote, old enough to enter a contract. Guess what? Now you can play professional basketball because we want you here if you think you're good enough.
You're right. He needs to fix that. 100% right.
Okay. All right, folks, we're going to be back here on Place Your Bet in just a few moments. Lots more to come. Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah, that's
good.
That's pretty heated, right? That was good.
Well, yeah, you got to have that stuff. That's good.
No, we could definitely pull something out of there.
Yeah, you
firing at him though, but that's fine.
Well, of course I don't care if he's a Duke. I got to fire him because
firing him.
I'm firing him. Yes, yes. Hey, Derek.
He'll probably laugh.
Lisa.
He probably will come on the show. He doesn't shy away from criticism. He'll come on the show.
Well, you're looking for a guest. I just fired him. Tell him just say, hey, our bookmaker just fired you.
Fired him. But no, I agree with you. The NBA is not compelling.
It's a watered down product. I agree
with you.
Yeah, okay. It's tragic.
So I don't have Cali Vegas. You have it memorized?
Pretty much. Where is it?
I don't have my bag. I forgot my bag, so that's why I wrote them out.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, so Well, that's why I only had time to write the 2. So I figured you could do Kelly Vegas, or together we could do it.
That's fine. That's fine.
Or I could do it. I could do it in the next break.
Do what? Write it out?
out.
That's fine. I pretty much know what it is, so.
Yeah. I mean, as I was writing these, I knew too.
Yeah. Of course, I fired Adam Silver.
He fires Adam. I love Adam.
I know you love him, and you know, hey.
Everything was right. Everything was true.
I wasn't being out of bounds. The product sucks, and Adam has the ability to fix the problem.
And
and he
listen,
hasn't
I
done
was
it.
admitting it's not compelling. I was admitting I can't watch it.
Right, and you know, I saw that. The Golden Skins, they scored 51 points in the first, and I said, okay, big
They
deal.
won 142 to 111. I don't want to see that game either.
Every one of these damn games, 140, 150. There's no semblance of defense on the court.
Harden scored 39 points at halftime or 36 points at halftime.
I want to see some defense.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
It's harder to block a shot than make a shot. I love block shots.
Me too.
That's the hardest thing, in my opinion, the hardest thing to do on a basketball
I
court.
say bring back hand checking a little bit.
Yeah.
Bring it back to when the 90s, the way Jordan and Pippen played. There was nothing wrong with that product.
No.
But there was a lot of 87.
And you could drive your elbow into their back while they're backing in a little bit.
There was a lot of 87 to 85 games then, you know?
Yeah. But there was some real half-court strategy. It wasn't just street ball running up and down, alley-oop here, dunk here. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about scoring in the NBA in the next segment.
Okay. All right.
I have a proposal.
All right.
Hey, Luther's on. It says, Tommy T.
The Luth. Luther's my man.
Luther, didn't you bet the house? Are you still homeless?
He still got his house.
Oh, you got a house. Attaboy.
You know why? Because a week later he bet the house and won the house back.
How can you bet a house when you don't have the money?
He has 2 houses.
Oh, okay, so he has an extra one. That's hilarious. Hey, listen to my promo, folks. There we go.
No calls. No calls.
No, I'm not even watching the phone. We haven't even given the number out.
Luther listens to us. Luther's great. 12 seconds.
Join me as celebrity guest.
5 seconds.
1400. It's a circus, and we prove it every day. All right, here we go. Yep.
Welcome back to Place Your Bet, everybody. I'm Tommy T, and this segment is brought to you by the American Business Trust Company, helping your company with business strategy, sales and marketing, capital resources, and establishing your company with a physical location or on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea, and the American Business Trust Company can help with the rest. Visit them online at abtrustco.com or call 657-600-1876. That's the American Business Trust Company. 657-600-1876. Call them today. They can help your business right away.
And a big welcome to everybody listening to us on KCHP 1400 and iHeartRadio. Tommy, let's pick up with the basketball conversation. I want to shift over to scoring.
Kill the jet engine blowing on my back right now.
Don't worry about that. Listen, you were complaining. You were already complaining that it smelled like ass and socks in here.
No, I didn't say it would smell like anything. I just said it was hot as a sauna.
Whatever.
Or as the Swedish people say, a sauna.
Whatever. All I know is it's cool in here now, right?
It's freezing.
Oh, stop crying about it.
It's freezing.
All right, anyway.
Picking up where we left off.
Picking up where we left off.
I don't want to fire Adam. I want to get Adam on
Adam, you're fired! But you can bring him on the show anyway.
Okay.
Okay. Adam could be our basketball correspondent.
He will, too. We'll do that.
Okay, so, and folks, that would be Adam Silver, because that would be Tommy's friend, right?
That's Adam. Adam's a good man.
See, your good friend, you guys go bowling together?
Adam's the one that put the Sport Jerks NBA Tour on the air. He's the one that put me on
what
TV.
What is the Sport
Jerks?
Jerks?
Sport Jerks NBA Tour was my show with my buddy from Rome, New York, Barry D. It was Tommy T and Barry D. And we pitched the show around town in L.A. 15 years ago. And Adam's the one that brought us to Comedy Central and gave us backstage passes to all the NBA games.
Nice. So you invite him over. Is he on your Christmas card list? And you go bowling with him?
Adam gets a nice big bottle of Gaia Barbaresco every Christmas.
All right.
And I know you know Gaia.
So I know that guy too. So he's on your Christmas card list too, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
Right?
Absolutely.
He's on my Christmas wine list. I don't have a Christmas card list.
All right, so be it.
The wife has a Christmas card list. I don't know nothing about that. You got a Christmas card list?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
You got a Christmas cartoon list.
I got that too. But I got a card list.
You got a card list?
I do have a card list.
Wait, so you send out cards?
Yeah.
Okay, you write them out?
Yeah.
Good man.
Of course I do.
Good man. I'm going to give you...
I got my education. I could do that, boy. All right, good news. All right, so here, let's go to the NBA and scoring. You know, we see these high scores, and all we're seeing now is basically track meet. We see a track meet, and it's street ball, slam dunk here, alley-oop there. I'm gonna make a little proposition here,
okay.
And this is for NBA scoring. Now, we already have, for example, a three-point line, right? What I would love to see are a couple of changes. I would like to see a four-point line beyond half court. Anything beyond half court, that would be your four-point shot. I would also like to see, from a fouling standpoint, if you're inside 2 minutes, if you're fouled, it's 2 shots and the ball, so we don't have this hour for the last 2 minutes of the game.
That's a good rule. I like that. Okay.
All right. But I would also like to see the slam dunk changed to 1 point.
You know whose rule that is, don't you?
1 point.
You know whose suggestion that was?
No.
Back in the 60s, John Wooden used to say that all the time.
Because there's no physical shot.
You're in select company. You're
Yeah,
right.
I had no idea. All I know is I like the idea of, look, if you're going to throw the ball down, there's no physical shot involved. It should be worth 1 point. Now, if it does release from your hand and then go in the cylinder, that's 2 points. Even if you're 1 foot away, I'm fine with that.
I love that rule. I think those rules should be implemented. I've never been less impressed by anything than a dunk. That's why I hated that Clipper team these last 5 years,
Right.
because they had that DeAndre Jordan who would dunk and he would act like he just did the greatest thing ever accomplished on a
Right.
basketball court.
Right.
He couldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
And they never won.
And he surely can't shoot a free throw.
Shoot a free throw. He didn't know. He couldn't. He never took anything more than 2 dribbles.
I know.
He couldn't dribble. Are you kidding? I mean, he
Right.
couldn't do nothing. He was a horrible player. I hated that, and I despised the dunk after watching that team. They called it Lob City. I was just called it Puke City. And
Yeah, it's awful.
But I haven't liked the dunk for some time. Now, of course, you see Kobe, you see Michael Jordan, you see LeBron throw a dunk down. It's pretty impressive.
Well, it's impressive, but it should be worth 1
It's
point.
1 point, yes, and you're gonna see the game change, because you know what's gonna happen. Those guys aren't going to steamroll through the lane
That's
100
right.
miles an hour, because when they dunk, they're allowed to grab onto the rim now so they don't get injured, which is an okay rule.
Well, just so they stabilize themselves, but
Yeah.
not to sit there and hang and crap
yeah, and
like
I
that.
hate
Yeah.
that too, where they do chin ups, and I hate that.
Right.
But yeah, but if they can't dunk, they're going to go down the lane with more under control to try to get layups.
Right,
and
it's
get
a
in
game,
ones.
and it's
Yeah.
not just a dunking competition.
That's a great rule.
I would love to see the 1 point, and this is part of the reason why I like watching women's basketball, because they don't really dunk, and they're pure shooters. Fundamentally speaking, it's a good game to watch. The women's game is good to watch. I know you don't like it because you don't
you're
like the
right.
energy.
No, listen, I watched the women's game too. I think UConn's a tremendous team. I love watching. I've watched UConn for years.
Well, never just all the
No,
women.
they
Period.
are. They're good.
Fundamentally, they have skills.
It's non-athletic. I mean, comparatively speaking.
Well, you don't have
But
women
no,
driving to the hole and slam dunk. You don't have that.
You're right, though. Fundamentally, they all can dribble, they all can pass, they all can shoot. They all can shoot. When
That's
they go to
right.
the free throw line, they make free throws.
That's
if
right.
there's a woman that shoots under 60%, you're like, oh my God.
Right.
Like, it's unheard of.
Right. The fact is, they can shoot, and let's face it, they could pass, they could shoot, they could dribble. Fundamentally, it's a good game to watch. If you're trying to train some kid, here's this kid watching basketball for the first time. What is this? Let him watch a women's game, because fundamentally, that's the right thing to do.
Yeah,
How about a round of applause for the ladies?
It is, and I
Yes.
think Gino Oriyama is as good a coach as John Wooden ever was. He's one of the all-time great coaches in basketball.
Yeah.
Paisan,
Yeah.
5'6" Paisan.
I know.
Right?
Another guy named Jimbo, right? Jimbo, 5'6".
Yeah, no,
We call him Jimbo.
Jimbo. Yeah, so you're right. So starting out 1 point as a dunk, moving out to 4 points at half court. That's pretty cool rule change.
I
gotta
like
tell
it. I like
You
it
know what,
because
though?
it incites a better game, a little more strategy involved.
But those rule changes favor Golden State even more, because
I know they can shoot from
they got the one guy that can make
underneath
half court shots.
They can shoot from underneath the other basket.
I bet you in a real game, I bet you Steph could shoot 30 or 40% from half court easy.
Yeah. Well, and that's fine, but they run the risk of what? Shooting the ball, there's no rebounds, nobody's going to play under the boards, there's no offensive boards on that one. But the fact is, you give a team a chance that's down by 6 or 7 with maybe 9 seconds left. Fine, shoot a half-court shot. If you're lucky enough, maybe you'll get in, you could foul somebody right. Well, you can't foul because the automatic foul. It's 2 points on the ball, or 2 shots on the ball.
Okay, so say this. Golden
Maybe they can
State,
steal the ball.
Golden State is trailing the Lakers by 6 points.
Right.
Right? They're trailing the Lakers by 6 points. So They make a half-court shot. Now they're down by 2. They foul
Lonzo
Ball.
Let's see. Oh,
they
right.
foul Lonzo Ball.
I know. You're always going to miss.
30% from the line.
Right, he's going to miss.
Okay, so he misses 2 free throws. And
well, let's say he makes one.
He makes 1 free throw, and they get the ball out of bounds. They miss a shot, right? So then
you got a 3 or a 4-point shot to win the game, or a 3 inside the arc.
Yeah,
see, I liked that.
Yeah,
I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, that's not pie in the sky. That's reality. And look, you're already seeing scores at 150 in the NBA, which is all-star game crap.
The highest scoring game in NBA history was the Denver Nuggets beating the Detroit Pistons 186-184.
So double overtime,
triple
overtime.
Yeah.
I knew it was something like that. Yeah.
That was the Isaiah Thomas, Kelly Tripucka Pistons.
Right.
And the Alex English and Fat Lever Nuggets. Good teams, good players. 186, 184. Are you kidding?
But you know, the funny thing is, imagine the Detroit Pistons and 180 in the same sentence. There's just something wrong with that.
Well, yeah, because
they just don't. I mean, those guys don't really score but 100 back in the day.
Well, that game happened in the early to mid 80s,
right.
And then it wasn't. What was it? 15 years later? Not even. Right? It was less than 10 years later when the Bad Boys.
That was 1988, 1989.
So that must have been 5 to 6 years later. That
1988, thereabouts, yeah.
I felt like the Bad Boys threw basketball backwards 30 years. That was horrible to watch. That wasn't even basketball. They punch you in the head. You go for a layup, they punch you in the head. Who wants to watch that? That was like you and me playing.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, of course you like it.
I like it. You know, I don't mind a little pork chop.
Punch me in the... No, pork chop nothing. They punch you in the head.
Well, guess what? You're going to come in the lane. You're going to pay the price.
Oh, I hated Lane Beer and that fat Rick Mahorn. Ugh,
I did like Vinnie Johnson, though.
Team.
Vinnie Johnson was pretty good.
Well, he had one of the greatest nicknames ever.
Oh, the microwave.
It was great.
Right.
He told me he was great.
That guy was great.
That was a great team.
Yeah.
But Isaiah Thomas was one of the all-time great players.
Yeah.
So he's still...
From the west side of Chicago.
You know, as far as I've been watching basketball, he still had the greatest quarter I've ever seen in NBA history when he blew his ankle out against the Lakers in the 88 finals, and he came back in the fourth quarter and scored 30 points. His ankle was as big as the basketball. He was shooting one-legged. It was just an incredible performance. Isaiah Thomas was one of the all-time great players.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Give him a big round of applause.
Yeah.
All right. Now sit.
And
you're already sitting. Roll over.
And one of the all-time worst front office executives.
He's not a good one.
What?
Well, I mean, look, Michael Jordan, same problem.
No, he's terrible, huh?
Right.
Okay.
Well, look, Magic Johnson, same problem.
Yeah, Magic Johnson. Yeah.
All those great players.
He drafted Lonzo Ball. Someone told me that they should.
Hey, he drafted LeVar Ball. You had it right.
Someone said he should have just drafted LeVar.
Right. Because if
he might have been better.
Well, if door number 1 didn't work, you still got the other 2 doors to work.
Listen, Lonzo was so bad this year that he shut his father up. Think about that.
That's pretty hard to do.
We haven't heard anything from LeVar.
Right.
Because he's got nothing to say.
Right.
What's he going to say? My son's playing bad because.
Right.
But because last year was because of this, because of that.
Right.
Back in UCLA, so my son didn't win because white guys were on the team.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
What's he going to say now? My son's playing bad because he sucks?
Right. I think that's what it is.
He's not saying that.
That guy's terrible.
Oh, my God. He stinks. I'm sorry.
That guy reeks.
Let me tell you something.
He's awful.
Let me tell you something. I played basketball my whole life, too. I could go to the foul line right now, blindfolded, and make more foul shots than Lonzo. If you give us 50 foul shots each, I will make more than him, blindfolded.
I think just ice cold. And I used to do this after playing, so I played with my buddies every day. And I used to stay after and shoot free throws. And I'd shoot at least 100 free throws just to see how many out of 100 I could make. I was averaging about 68 to 70. Out of 100.
68%, 70%.
Thereabouts.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
And that's playing double rim outside.
Yeah, no, listen, if you can shoot 70% from the line, that's not a bad, especially considering what some of these guys are doing.
But on
there.
Double rim, you know what I'm talking about? Double,
of course I know
playground,
double rim.
Playground double rim.
Too.
Yeah.
Double rim is if you shoot a shot and it touches the rim.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the double rims on the playground.
That's what I said.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the ball will fly.
If you shoot a shot and it touches the rim, it'll bounce to half court.
Right.
That's double rim.
Yeah.
It's the most unforgiving rim.
Oh,
ever.
exactly. Those are awful. Yeah.
You can't touch the rim.
Yep.
What a double rim teaches you to do, though, it teaches you to arc the ball even higher, because you want the ball to be coming down, so it just slides through the rim. But if you don't have any arc on the ball, it's going to bounce on that rim and just take off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Double
you
rim.
take a guy like Harden. Can you imagine Harden with that laser beam shot on a double rim? That ball would rebound into the other basket.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good shot, but he's got a low line drive. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Jordan had the same low line drive.
Yeah, Kobe did sometimes too. Yeah,
Yeah.
They did.
And sometimes I'd wonder, I'm like, how the hell did that ball even get in? How did it get over the front of the rim?
Yeah, I mean those guys.
The great shooters can do that.
The great shooters get lucky bounces too. The great shooters get the old shooter's touch.
Yeah, but remember, great things happen to great shooters.
Yep.
Right? I mean, look at winners win. Why? Because that's what they do. It's not because, well, they got a break. No, they find a way to win. Period. And I think that goes for any sport. I mean, look at the NFL this week.
Well, we got trashed Phillip Rivers for the very reason of falling behind 35-7.
Right.
When you supposedly have one of your best teams in 15 years. Okay, let's go. You got your good team. Let's go.
Right. You got two 40-year-old quarterbacks playing a couple of young kids, right? And those 40-year-old quarterbacks are what? These guys are great. Why? Because they know how to win. That's what they do. And Brady has had a better system in place for years and years, where Breeze hasn't had all that.
Sean Payton's system in the last 13 years is nothing to.
No, it's not bad. No, it's not bad, but it hasn't been performing at the same level. But here you've got two 40-year-old quarterbacks that are just good at winning, man, because that's what they do.
Not to mention, though, they practice, they train. They're the most well-trained quarterbacks in the league. I was reading some articles on Drew Brees, and apparently he wins at ping pong. He wins at everything. Like, I didn't realize.
It's like Michael Jordan
he was
won.
a great baseball player.
Except golf. Michael Jordan won at everything he did, except gambling and golf.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the problem is on the golf course, he went out with the attitude that he'll always pull it out in the end. And,
right.
And the golfers made a ton of money off him.
Yeah.
They used to fly him in. Michael, you want to play? Michael, how much you want to play for?
Right. The only one that didn't beat him was Barkley, because he couldn't beat anybody.
The worst golf swing ever. Someone once said, do you remember the old golf analyst Ken Venturi?
No.
He was an old CBS guy. For years he called the majors. He said that in Barkley's flaw, he can detect a golf swing.
That's ridiculous.
Like he flipped it. He flipped it.
Exactly.
Right? That's great. In that golf swing, I can detect a flaw. Hey, Marquette has one of the best players in college basketball this year. He scored 50 points twice already. Right? Marcus Howard, is that his name? Is that his name? Marcus Howard. I like these guys that can score in college because it is not easy. Yeah, it is Marcus Howard. Only problem is he played 3 minutes today. He must have got hurt. Oh, no. Final score, Marquette beat Georgetown 74-71. I did not know that Marcus Howard got hurt. He played 3 minutes. He scored no points.
And Georgetown had the lead in that game, too.
Yeah, Georgetown's blown a couple games. Patrick Ewing's the coach there.
I know.
It's we forget.
Well, you know what that means? They're never going to win a national title. That's why.
Why? They won when he played.
Ewing's a choke artist. In his pro career, as a choke artist.
Why is he a choke artist? He missed that one shot, that one finger roll, but other than that, why is he a choke artist?
You just made my point.
Because he missed one shot?
He's a choke artist.
What point did I make?
That he missed the shot. He missed a very important shot, did he not?
He finger rolled it when he could have dunked it. Yeah, but that doesn't make it. You know how many shots Kobe and Michael have missed?
Hey, this is not about that. Those guys have won. Patrick Ewing on the pro level.
He won in college.
On the pro level, won 0.
But at least he won once, more than Charles Barkley.
That's because of John Thompson.
No, it was because of Patrick Ewing. He
was coached properly.
John Thompson won because of Patrick Ewing. No, he was. 1 minute to go.
All right.
So this guy Marcus Howard, I hope he didn't get hurt because there's another injury. Yesterday, Duke had a bad injury. He missed one guy, Reddish, and then the other guy. Well,
got hurt. Duke, you got two guys that were out in the game, and and Syracuse played a good game. Tip my hat to Syracuse for playing well.
Good game, yeah.
In a very hostile environment. All right, folks, listen, we're going to be back here in just a few minutes on Place Your Bet. In the meantime, go to placeyourbet.vegas. Check us out. Back in a few minutes. Okay. Every shot. All right. Let's see. Got to remember that Kelly Vegas trade. I read it every day. Oh, hey, here it is, folks. Here's the sponsor. Listen, here's Kelly Vegas. Here's our read.
Wait, that's you talking.
I know, it's me.
It's easier than you think.
Wait, let him listen. Oh, I got to just plug it in. Here we go. Here's your commercial, folks.
And learn how quickly you can create, produce, and host.
I didn't even know Marcus Howard got injured.
Imagine not having to sit in traffic every day, commuting back
and forth to the same old boring job.
Get started in television or radio today with your free television.
We're going to finish a minute early.
949-445.
What? We're going to finish a minute early.
Visit them online at
Why?
I don't know. We're a minute ahead. I don't know how we got a minute ahead.
I don't get it.
So we're at 40 now.
So we just go until 59:50.
Okay, we're going to go.
Yeah.
That's 40.
Right.
We got the 45-second legal shield, and then we start at the left. Okay.
Yeah, just go to 59:50. That's all.
Okay, no, we're okay.
Yeah, either way. Derek, Sal, you're a natural. A natural in bowling, I've been told that.
You're a good bowler? Really? You're a good bowler?
Maybe you were given a contract that you
I'm not a very good bowler. That's like the one sport I'm not good at.
Want to go bowling?
Yeah, let's go bowling.
All right. When do you want to go? You want to go this weekend?
Yeah, let's go bowling this weekend.
When?
I don't know, Saturday afternoon? I don't know.
Sunday.
Where do we
It's
go?
a bucket game at the Gold Coast. It's a bucket game at 3 o'clock. If you go 3 o'clock, yeah, it's $1 a game.
No, Sunday the football game's around. I don't want to go bowling.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we can't do that. I'll go bowling. I don't care.
I'll go bowling too. We'll Facebook Live it.
That would be funny. Well, I don't really get any good reception in a place like that. You'll have to do it.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll
Yeah.
Facebook Live it.
All right. All right. Derek says cosmic bowling. No, it says comic bowling, not cosmic bowling.
Funny.
That's hilarious. All right. Go ahead. Kill the music. All right. Let me get my headphones on. All right, folks. Welcome back to Place Your Bet. I'm Sal the Bookmaker. This segment is brought to you by Kelly Vegas, helping people just like you get into your very own studio for your own talk show. And guess what? You could be on the radio or on television right there in your own studio, right in your own home. Give a call to 949-445-1119. That's 949-445-1119. Again, Kelly Vegas, 949-445-1119. Or visit them at kellyvegas.com. That's CALI Vegas.com. And tell them Place Your Bet sent you. Also, a big welcome to everybody watching on Facebook Live, everybody listening on iHeartRadio, and of course, right here on KSHP 1400, home of your Arizona Diamondbacks.
That was excellent. It was almost like you were reading it and you had nothing in front of you.
Ah,
That was excellent.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Professional.
Professionale.
Right? Okay, so somebody...
He said, I'll take the red eye out and then join y'all. All right, Derek, come on out to Vegas. You know where to reach us right here, 2400 South Jones in Las Vegas. Come on out, kid.
Okay, so we like Bruce Arians, right? We talk very fondly
Oh,
Bruce
I
Arians
love
when he
this
got-
story. I know where you're
Okay,
going. I
we
did
like
this one
it.
earlier.
Okay, so listen.
Oh, this is
I mean,
great.
Like, only Bruce Arians gets another coaching
Give him a
job.
round of applause before you even read it.
He's back in the NFL for what, a week?
Yes!
Back
Yeah.
in for a week. And what does he do? He says that there's too much diva in wide receiver Antonio Brown. I mean, only
Yeah.
Bruce. What is he? 65 years old. 65. I love Bruce Arians.
That was the quote of the day. I opened up with that story earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I saw this and I mean
I got that. In fact, that came out at 4:32. Look at the timestamp, and I was on it at 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
That was one of those
of course.
ones I just had to have.
But only Arians can get away with something like this because he's so real. He's just a real guy. The players respect him. The media loves him. There's just something about the guy, right?
Right.
You know, he's just one of those. You know, and I would say cool, but sometimes in sports, when you're real, you just seem cool. When you don't give a canned answer or one of those BS answers that you know the media wants to hear,
Right.
you're yourself. When you're just yourself. That's Bruce Arians. So he comes out and says, there's too much miscommunication. There's too much ...
Diva. Actually, you can call him Devo, I guess, because it is a boy.
Oh, man.
But sometimes he doesn't act like it. Antonio Brown is such a little
Oh, I can't stand him.
female dog.
And
I don't know how to say it. I mean, we could say it on air. You could say that word on air, but frankly, I look at Antonio Brown and the money has jaded him. The success has jaded him. And you know, Bruce says he practices hard, but the problem is
Hardest
this.
worker.
Well, here's the problem.
But he said all the little things.
The little things. Okay, the little things are. Guess what? He's late. And
That's
because
yeah,
he's late, that's a
nothing of
huge
it.
thing. You know what that
Of course,
means?
huge
That
thing.
means you don't give a damn about anybody else except yourself.
Yep. And you know what? In football, there are only 52 other guys in that locker room. Everything gets affected.
Plus the coaches.
Yeah, you know, the coaches and then the fans. But what happens in football is one of the games that's all about your energy. It's all about emotions and energy. Everyone's good. Like, most of the guys are really good.
Right? If you're in the pros, you're good.
Yeah, and
Even if you're a crappy pro, you're still good.
You know why? Because if you're in the pros, You work hard, you train hard, you're disciplined, you've had to stay out of trouble.
Yeah, but
So of
I think
course.
Brown forgot how he got there. Brown forgot all of those pieces. You know what this is? And here's the best thing. He is Rocky Balboa in Rocky 3 after he gets a beatdown from Clubber Lang. Doesn't train properly. And Mr. T needs to go and kick Antonio Brown's ass and get him back into Eye of the Tiger.
And
he needs to be trained by Apollo Creed.
Who brought Rocky back at the end of Rocky 3?
So I just told you, it was Apollo Creed.
Right, Apollo Creed.
Right,
I
he
thought
needs
said
Apollo.
Clubber Lang.
No, he got beat down by Clubber Lang.
Lang, yeah.
Right, Mr. T.
Yeah.
Right. But the fact is, Apollo Creed needs to train Antonio Brown. How about a round of applause for that?
Absolutely. I don't think Antonio Brown's training is off. I think he's working just as hard. He had
But
one
what
of
I'm
his best
saying
seasons.
is he needs the beat down.
Well, what's going to happen now is the Steelers let him go. Somehow they trade him. I'm hearing San Francisco 49ers, Jerry Rice is saying he'd be perfect in San Francisco. And you know what? He would be. He would be. They have a quarterback there. That's a team that's on the rise.
If he can stay healthy.
Who? The quarterback, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the team is on the rise. They got a good coach. So
Good general manager.
Good general manager. So it might be a good place for him to land. But let me tell
But
you
I think
something.
he'll eat their media up, though. That's the problem.
Well, here's the thing, though. Your career,
Watch him go to the Jets.
Your career is sullied. The Jets. Now,
Watch him go to the Jets.
Do you want him near Sam Darnold? Do you really want that next to Adam Gase?
Do
Adam
you?
Gase
No.
can't
Here,
handle
okay,
him.
but here's the thing. It's not that. This is about the New York media.
Yeah, but Gase wouldn't be able to handle him. The Jets
I
ain't
don't
gonna
know
do
if
that.
he could handle the New York media. I would love to see it, is all I'm saying. That's kind of like
Yeah.
the perfect storm.
Yeah, but player-wise, the Jets aren't going to want to get him next to Gase. He'll eat Gase and Darnold up.
But the media will eat him up.
Is he a punk? I mean, what kind of punk move was that? That last thing about not going to the doctor, not getting an MRI.
Of course it's a punk
having
move.
his agent. What a punk.
Of course it's a punk move.
Yeah, and like, look at this. Two guys from the East Coast and the Midwest, two Italian guys, Mike Cohen, one of the greatest receivers of punk.
Hey, I don't
Look at
care.
us.
I'll see him outside. That's right. Bring an army to lunch, kid. I'll see you outside the parking lot.
I don't want to fight Antonio Brown, but I wouldn't mind going
I
back
will.
and forth. Yeah, I know you do. You want to fight everybody.
No, I don't know. I just said I will.
I know. If someone looks at you cross-eyed as we walk out the door, you're ready to go. Instead of just getting in your car and driving away.
Hey, I
you
gave a
stand there and
homeless
you turn.
guy, this guy had one eye going one direction, one the other direction. Right out here, right before I walked in, I gave him a handful of lemon heads when I walked in.
Okay, you're a nice guy. So what you're saying is he had one eye looking at you while the other was looking for you?
I don't know. Something like that. I have no idea.
Okay.
He had shoes on. He had like size 18 shoes.
Now-
And his feet was like size 2.
Now, you know, the Lemonheads, that was a famous homeless guy in Law & Order. They were looking for Lemonhead for 2 episodes.
I don't know anything about
Why do you
that.
got to do that?
I've never seen Lemonhead.
You never seen Law & Order?
I don't see. No, I
You
grew up.
watch Law and Order.
I grew up a half a mile away from the Ferrara Pan factory, and every night the Red Hots and
The
the
what?
fireballs would blow into my window at
The what
nighttime.
factory?
Ferrara Pan.
What is that?
Google it. It's the maker
No,
of
I'm not
Lemonheads.
Googling
It's
it.
the maker of Lemonheads, Atomic Fireballs,
Those are
Red
awful
Hots.
candies.
No, for you they're awful
They're
candies.
terrible
They're a
candies.
staple in the candy world. Anyway, but yeah, the factory was literally half a mile from my house, so I grew up with Lemonheads.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
Ferrara Pan.
Okay, so now here's another ridiculous quote. Bruce Arians' quote was right on point, right on the money. Here's a ridiculous quote. Jerry Jones said that if he fired Jason Garrett, he would be offered jobs by 5 other teams immediately. Did you see that quote? Where did you get that?
What?
Who's hiring Jason
Who the
Garrett?
hell would hire him? Maybe the CFL.
Now listen, I don't hate Jason Garrett. I think Jason Garrett is an okay coach.
Oh, I think
but-
he's a really good puppet. Don't you?
I don't think he's a puppet, but I think he's somewhat of a puppet. But I think he's a fine coach. Whatever. He's not a terrible coach. His record is good. He's not a terrible coach. But I
Well,
don't.
Jerry Jones' record as a coach is okay. He's not a terrible coach.
I like Jerry Jones because he said I could coach the team.
Well, but Jerry Jones is coaching the team already. And Jason Garrett's only his puppet.
This is what Jerry Jones said. If Jason Garrett was on the market 2 weeks ago, he would have had 5 offers for head coach. I know that, and you've got to look at what your alternative is. I don't even know what Jerry Jones talks about half the time. And when he talks, it's just so
Come
funny to
on,
me.
man. Are you kidding me? Come on,
man.
Jerry. Knock it off.
That's the Chris Carter line from that show.
I don't care about that, but I'm not gonna credit the 4-letter network.
No, I don't. He doesn't say from the 4-letter network. He was fired from that network a long time ago for sexual harassment.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
everybody else apparently.
Yeah,
Well, speaking of which, hold the phone on that.
NFL
Did you hear about what happened
Yes,
in Major
John
League Baseball?
Wetland.
John Wetland,
That's awful.
a sexual predator, sexual
Yeah, I
assault.
wasn't gonna touch that.
What? I'm not touching
Sal's
it, but
not
I'm gonna mention it though.
I said Sal's not gonna want me to bring that up.
Under 14 years of age. Here it is, folks. John Wetland, former
Oh my
World
God.
Series MVP, 330 saves, and all this other crap. Guess what? Under 14-year-old kid, and who knows what was going on, but they won't even state it in the media.
Well, they said that
the details of it.
He posted $25,000 bail.
Yeah,
so
I
he's
saw that.
Free.
Yeah.
Most of the time when they arrest those guys, they don't give you any bail.
But because he is a former Major League Baseball player, of course they're going to bend the rules on him down in Texas. Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's in the greater Dallas area.
What were we talking about before that? Jason Garrett. How did we get to Wetland? I don't know how we got to that.
I don't know.
Anyway,
He's
it
a puppet.
doesn't matter.
Nobody cares. He's a puppet.
A puppet. He's not really a puppet.
How do
It's
you
not.
know?
How do you know he is?
How do you know he is?
How do you know he is?
Because Jerry Jones is radioing the plays down, and
No,
Jason Garrett's got his hand like this. Okay,
That's
boss.
That's not
Okay,
true.
boss.
No, it's not like that. I don't even think that Jerry Jones tells him who to play. I don't think that's like that. I think Jerry Jones and Will McClay and Stephen Jones and Jason Garrett, the four of them together, pick the players, draft the players. I don't think he tells them who to play. I don't. Okay. But I mean, listen. I mean, if you think
What do we know? We're not there.
I don't
How
know,
would we
I
know?
don't know nothing.
I never know nothing.
I don't know nothing.
But you know what I do know is that Sal the Bookmaker is 45 wins against 4 losses. Folks, go to placeyourbet.vegas, pick up a subscription. We got 2 games coming up this weekend. I've already seen movement that some people may not have seen, and I've been watching the money on this. I got to tell you, it's painstakingly obvious in one of the games which way the action is going to go. I've already seen movement.
I know what you're talking
I've seen
about.
big movement, and I'm not going to tip it off either.
I know what game you're talking about. I know what movement you're talking
Well,
about.
I'll tell you yes or no. You tell me which game.
You're talking about the New England Kansas
No.
City game. You're talking about the New Orleans Rams game.
This guy.
That's stupid. What movement? They're both 3 points. One's 3.5.
Oh, no.
One moved a half a point.
It's not about that. You don't know how to read it.
No, I don't.
That's my point.
I don't know how to read it. I've never.
That's why I'm
played like that.
91.83%.
Yes. But here's the thing, for our listeners, everyone here on 1400 KSHP, and also our listeners on iHeartRadio. Okay, so all of our listeners
And Facebook Live.
and on Facebook Live, and all of our followers.
Yes!
Listen, you better get it while you can, because Sal may go into hibernation soon. Even though you can pick basketball and you can pick college hoop, that's not something that you're going to be on all the time. The NFL is ending. There's only 3 more games.
That's right.
Sal, listen,
And the
everybody.
Pro Bowl doesn't
I was
count.
going to say that. Sal doesn't pick the Pro Bowl. He doesn't.
Nope.
He just, that's the one game that I'll say is fixed.
The one,
game.
right. Well, that's the one game. That's the one Tommy will admit is fixed, but I
One
don't know.
game.
Nate
It's
Schmidt
fixed.
thinks they're all fixed.
No, they're not. They're not fixed. Oh my God! Are they playing Losepeg today?
Oh, you mean they lost to Winnipeg?
They lost to Losepeg. Dang it! They
Losepeg?
lost 2 in a row.
Are you on crack?
They used to call them Losepeg before they moved to Arizona. That was what the fans used to call them up there.
Well, guess what? They lost
Losepeg.
4-1 today.
So they're definitely Winnipeg. They're good. They're a good team.
They're a very good
That
squad.
team is big. I don't know how we beat them in the playoffs last year. That team is
Were you
big.
on the ice?
No, but they're my team. I can call them we. Don't take
We.
exception.
You're not. No, you're not a part of that
No,
team. You're a fan.
No,
Just like I'm a fan.
I'm a part of the team.
I'm not on the team.
I can say we. What you're gonna like control what words I say now?
No.
We.
No.
Je m'appelle Thomas.
The fact is, you don't play for the Vegas Golden Knights.
We.
Nor do I.
We.
I got your we. I don't want to hear about your wee.
Okay.
Moving on.
So okay. So
Vegas is hitting the skids a little bit here. They're gonna have to regroup. And come on,
lost
you know
two-
what?
but they
Because we
lost
got Nate
two tough
Schmidt here.
games.
We got Nate here. That's the problem.
They lost 2 really, really tough games though. Like those aren't anything to shake a stick at. Well, no, they won a game. They beat the Blackhawks in between.
They came back. They came back and beat the Hawks. They were down 3-1.
Yeah.
They came back and beat it in
Yeah.
overtime. But losing to Winnipeg 4-1. Listen, man, Winnipeg's a good club. It's not like there's some slouch. I mean, these
So are the
guys.
Sharks.
There's of course.
Yeah, no, both of those teams are good clubs,
Yeah.
and Vegas is a good club. So
Yeah.
chances are they're going to be
The
beating
two,
these
well, the
teams
two
again in
teams, the
playoffs.
2 teams ahead of them, yeah.
Yeah.
But without getting into yesterday's news or earlier, I don't care about that. Let's look forward at what's coming up on the weekend with these football games. Drill into them a little bit. We've got about 5-6 minutes left.
I didn't know you wanted to do that. Okay, I'm happy to do that.
Just a little bit. What do you
Okay,
got?
so first of all, is the weather going to play any part in the Kansas City game? I haven't looked at the early weather report, but what's the deal with
Well,
that?
people are saying, "Oh, there could be a big snowstorm." Who gives a damn? I don't really think
that,
so.
That affects the game, though, right? I mean, a little bit, right? Does it take away some of Brady's sharpness?
No.
It doesn't.
No,
Okay.
because it's not his first trip to the rodeo.
Okay, does it take away Mahomes?
Yeah. I think
Okay.
that's the guy it affects more.
Okay, so the weather could
Because
affect Mahomes.
what does Mahomes do? He throws with a lot of velocity, right? Guy's got a cannon for an arm. And so when you're throwing in inclement weather, what do you got to do? You got to throw with a little bit of touch,
I
don't you?
like that. I like the inclement weather. Okay, so there's no early weather here. They're not giving us any weather on the.
No, they're saying it's coming, but the thing is, you can only predict the weather 36 hours in advance.
Okay. Geez, I mean, I don't know. Mahomes, to go from where he was last year playing just one game, he played the last game of the year, and Alex Smith played the whole year, and then to show up this year and be as good as he is, now he ends up in a conference championship game. If he plays like he did all year long, if he plays consistent like he's been consistent all year long, the Chiefs are going to be right there. I mean, there's no reason for us to
that's
think,
why the line is 3.
Yeah, the Chiefs are right there. Even though
So they're basically saying, hey, look, go play on a neutral field. It's a picket.
it's a pick 'em game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I told you yesterday, and I'm still going to hold on to this, the biggest key for the Chiefs, besides Mahomes playing a consistent game like he's done all year, is
They're not going to get that much pressure on Brady because Brady's
That's-
smart enough to get rid of the ball quickly.
Well,
You're going to see a lot of fades from Brady.
okay, but listen though, when Brady has struggled in the playoffs, in the Super Bowls primarily when the Giants beat him, and when Atlanta gave him all kinds of hell before they had that ridiculous comeback, he got hit a ton. The Giants dominated
But
that.
remember,
they dominated
okay,
that Super Bowl twice with their defensive line.
but don't
And
think for a minute-
Atlanta hit him 18 times.
But don't think for a minute they haven't learned from that. But so now
But learn.
My point
They
is
knew
this.
then.
My point is this. If you take a look at the defensive line for Kansas City, and they're going to try to put some pressure on him, all you're going to see is fade, fade, fade. You're going to see a steady diet of Gronk. They're going to try to double him. He's too big for everybody. Gronk is going to have a huge game. He has to have a big game.
Yeah, and he had a pretty good game last game, and
Yeah.
he looks like he's healthier than he's been all year.
Well, you know what
right?
that means is that he's been resting most
Yeah,
of the
they've been
year
resting him.
just for
Yeah.
this run.
Man, if they get back in the Super Bowl again, that's 3 times in a row. How many teams have made 3 Super Bowls in a row? The Steelers never did during their heyday.
Bills did.
They made 4.
Yeah.
They lost 4. Also, the Miami Dolphins made 3 in a row when they lost the first one to
Right.
Dallas and won the next
They
2.
won 2 out of 3, right?
But I don't remember anyone else making 3
The
in a row.
Vikings lost 4, but there was
never 3 in a row.
There was a couple stretches in there.
They played 2 in a row, I think.
Yeah.
They played the Raiders and the Steelers back to back. Yeah, so I forgot the Bills made it to 4 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Whoop-de-damn-do. One of my all-time favorite quotes by Derek Coleman of the New Jersey Nets at the time.
Right.
They asked him,
You're just a Buffalo Bills hater, and you're from the area. On top of it.
I hate a losing team. I'm sorry. I can't
Oh,
root
so
for a
you're
losing team.
the bandwagon
Yes,
guy.
I'm the
You're
bandwagon
bandwagon Billy.
I'm bandwagon Bob.
I'm going to call you bandwagon
Sorry,
Billy.
I wear it proudly. I hate a losing team. The Bills
But
stink
that's
for
no
25
fun.
years.
See, you have no
know what?
allegiance to
No,
your teams.
Can I just say something?
Sure
Can I
you
say
could.
something?
And you may too.
You know what's no fun? You know what's no fun?
A losing team.
Cheering a losing team. That's no fun.
Sure it
Sports
is.
are supposed to be fun. What's so fun about cheering on the Cleveland Browns for 25 years? It's no fun. I'm sorry. Can't I have some fun on Sundays?
I'm gonna root for only the winners. I want only the favorites. So that's why you like the Final Four with the biggest teams in there. Whether like when it comes to football, you don't want to see the little guy in there because there's too much risk of rooting for the little guy and the underdog. You want the sure path where you can root for the favorite. That's what
Okay.
this is all about.
Let me tell
Come
you-
on, Tommy, be honest
I'll
now.
tell you some of the teams that I rooted for. Years ago, I rooted hard for Villanova in the '85 March Madness. I loved that team. Rooted hard for
Jimmy
them.
V,
Right?
man.
I don't usually go for the big favorites.
Villanova was a great team.
I've been a New York Giants fan forever, and I don't like their team. I don't like their quarterback. What do you want me to do? I'm sorry, I don't like them. Like, kill me. Put me on a cross, cruise them. I don't like the Giants. I don't like a team that has a quarterback that can't move out of his own way.
See, that's why you were a Steelers and Cowboys fan. You mutinied your own teams from your own area, and you had to root for the winners only.
The Giants stunk when I was a kid. They were awful, and my father was mad at me. And my father was mad at me my whole childhood. He was always
Right,
pissed off at me.
because you wouldn't root for your
You're
home
right.
team.
It was bad.
That's right, because you had no allegiance to your home team.
You're right. I did.
And then you mutinied your area from Rome, New York, and you went to L.A. You went to Smell A.
I hated the Bills. They were
Right.
3 hours down the road. The Giants. I told you I grew up in a Giants and Yankees house. I like the Yankees. I didn't like the Giants. I was like, Dad, why do you like them? He's like, you don't understand. He would always rattle off the players from the 50s. Andy
Nobody
Rose
cares
Kelly.
about the old
He
players.
would always say, he'd always talk about their heyday.
Right.
So I couldn't root the Giants out. I'm sorry. I wish I could, but I can't.
But the lesson learned is don't mutiny your team. Now, my White Sox are on the toilet. And I'm okay with that, but I'll tell you what, in 2005, I was there. I went to the drop third strike game in the playoffs, and I was there in the World Series, And what a glorious moment for the team that you've seen, you rooted for your whole life, and they're finally winning the World Series. How exciting is that?
You're right. When you stick with a team, like if you've been a Browns fan for the
it
last 30 years.
It makes it fulfilling, exactly.
Right. If you've been a Browns for the last 30 years, now it's fun. But you know what the problem is? A lot of them are dead.
It doesn't matter.
They're not alive anymore.
It doesn't matter. All right, folks, listen, make sure you're going to place your bet.Vegas. Check us out. Tommy T and I am Sal the Bookmaker. Check out the pile of money and make sure you pick up a subscription. For everybody listening on iHeartRadio, thank you for joining us, as well as Facebook Live and right here at KSHB 1400, home of your Arizona Diamondbacks. That is all.
That's hilarious.